Would you like to fly?
Who, me?
Yes, you, and you too.
Who, me?
Almost anyone can learn to fly. There are flying clubs in all states with training aircraft of all types and competent instructors to teach you for a few pounds a month. Before you can fly an airplane, you have to know something about it, certain aspects of the theory of flight. How does an airplane fly? This is a cross-section of an airplane wing known as an aerofoil section. As the wing moves forward, air presses against the undersection and helps lift the airplane. Air passing over the upper surface travels much faster than the air passing below because the upper surface is longer. Consequently, the pressure on the top surface is less than that underneath, and the wing is drawn upwards. Oh, so you're here. Well, to continue, theory of flight is first demonstrated with a model. Practical instruction begins on the tarmac and is more or less the same at any flying school. The instructor explains the layout of the airplane and the various controls. The control column, known as the stick, causes the machine to climb, dive, or bank. Move the stick back and the elevators rise. Air pressing against the raised elevators forces the tail down and causes the plane to climb. In the same way, stick forward causes the nose to drop. Moving the stick from side to side operates the ailerons on the wings and causes the aircraft to bank. Foot pedals operate the rudder, which controls the direction of the aircraft. The throttle is hand-controlled. Full forward gives maximum revolutions. Back causes the engine to idle. There are 2 ignition switches, one for each magneto. Microphones and earphones are in the helmets worn by instructors and pupils. They are interconnected so that they can talk to each other whilst in flight. And now we're ready for the first lesson. Wave away the chocks and we're ready to go. Before taking off, all controls and instruments are thoroughly checked. The aircraft is swung into wind, the direction being indicated by a windsock. Permission to take off is granted from the control tower by a steady green light. Open the throttle wide. And then, as the speed increases, ease the stick forward to raise the tail. And we're airborne. When sufficient height is reached, the engine is throttled back to cruising speed. Now a gentle turn to the left. Left stick and rudder, stick slightly back. As the plane turns, move the stick gently to the right to overcome additional lift of the right wing, which in the turn is traveling faster than the left wing. As the pupil progresses, steep turns are taught. Right stick and rudder. Stick comes back to tighten the turn. And now for some extra height. When the forward speed gets so low that there is not enough air moving past the wings to maintain lift, the plane stalls. It drops its nose and falls temporarily out of control. Aerobatics are not included in the early training program, but the instructor may put on a show for the students. a slow roll. Let's all do a slow roll. Now, a loop. You feel like some more? Right. Let's try a spin. If we're not too giddy after all that, we'll go down and see if we can make a good landing. Many people believe that landing is a difficult maneuver, fraught with unusual terrors. Anyone with good eyesight, common sense, and reasonable practice can land like this. Learning to fly isn't only fun in the air. There's a certain amount of ground study and a written examination on air legislation, something like the rules of the road as applied to the air, has to be passed before a student can fly solo. The dream of every trainee is adventure and to fly the big ones. Australian pilots have pioneered over 2/3 of the world's major international air routes, in addition to 80,000 miles of Australian internal airways. These are some of the achievements that have put Australia high among the air-minded nations of the world. Flying as a profession can lead to command. As captain of a great overseas airliner with tens of thousands of flying hours to his credit. Many young pilots make a career for themselves in the Royal Australian Air Force. If really ambitious, a flyer may become a test pilot like Black Jack Walker, Australian war ace and test pilot for the Australian de Havilland Company. But well before these dreams come true, a trainee pilot must make his first solo flight. Without any warning, the instructor climbs out and the trainee is on his own. It's a curious feeling, a mixture of apprehension, anticipation, and adventure. A feeling that words can't describe. And so, pilots are made. There's nothing to it. Would you like to fly?